under 10 seconds. Maybe that's the way MV has figured it out. But now we're jumping into the bans. Monster Vicious banning out the Faramis, Bigatron Alpha banning out the chips. So far, which one is it? Bigatron first pick, Monster Vicious first, Monster Vicious first pick, Bigatron Alpha second pick.
Right, and early on there was a target ban towards Fakers. You gotta think about it, right? Like the Valentina was picked up, the Faramis was banned out, the Farsa was banned out. But after looking at how Fakers adapted to the target ban onto him, I think this time around, Bigatron Alpha is gonna switch things up.
I mean, I kind of feel like Monster Vicious can second pick the Terizla and make Bigatron Alpha question. Okay, is this Terizla going into the mid or the EXP? Because just by picking up the Terizla early after what you did in game number 1, it kind of psychs your opponent out where they have to second guess. Like, where is this Terizla going? If you ban out EXP laners, then it's like, you know what, I can still go to the EXP. You ban out mid laners, like, okay, fine, I guess I'll go to the mid.
Yeah, even if they pick up a Roger first, it's going to be the same Fury that applies as well. So they have a good amount of options right now on what's going to happen.
Banning out the Arlet is going to be very interesting here. Not really showing too much just because the Arlet is pretty good in general. Bigatron Alpha, I feel like for them to open up the draft a little bit and maybe ban out the Roger. So there's not too many flexibility that Monster Vicious have, but if they want, they can ban out the Valentina as well, because Monster Vicious, if the Roger is banned out, they might pick up the Valentina.
So there's a good amount of options right now, and Monster Vicious, they are showing the level of versatility that I think a lot of fans will be hoping for as well in game number 1. But looking at the current bans from BTR, they have not banned like any of the heroes that were used before, or some of the heroes that we mentioned that could be flexible, that can be some of the early picks for Monster Vicious.
Oh, they're banning out the Terizla, trying to make it honest. Asking the question for Monster Vicious, do you want to first pick the Roger, or do you want to first pick the Valentina?
Looking at how it was played earlier on, if they don't pick the Roger, there is a possibility that Bigatron Alpha might go for the Roger instead.
Yeah, definitely. So I think this is a very good ban from Bigatron Alpha. Really putting all the chips on the table, and it's like, okay, Monster Vicious, what do you want to do? Like, I feel like this is a very good ban. You're opening up both options and then making it so that Bigatron Alpha will always feel like they have the upper hand because they're going to trade 1 for 2.
Or maybe you can
Angela. Angela gets picked up, but now Bigatron Alpha, they can pick up the Roger as well as the Valentina. Or do they have something else in mind? I feel like you pick up the Roger here. The question is, you may not have to pick up the Valentina early because this Angela could go mid. Okay, Roger picked up. Yeah, I think Roger Valentina. I think it's the safest option.
Would you say the Valentina is just to take it away from Vegas, or it is them wanting to play the Valentina then?
Nah, it's good both ways, because it's good because it's one of Moreno's best heroes and it's one of Fake's best heroes, so take it away. Now there's an option for the Ling if they want to. The Ling, and then maybe pick up a Marksman or EXP laner. If they don't want a Ling, the Julian is still fine here.
But I think the bigger question is that now that the Roger falls into Bigatron Alpha's hand, like what would the best matchup to go up against Roger in the laning phase?
Honestly, a lot of burst heroes are still viable now. Clint is picking up in speed, so they're picking up the Edith and the Ling. So now they gotta handle the combo, and the Fanny gets picked up instantly. So it's burst over burst. Please learn the patch. Sky Piercer, let's go.
All right, here we go. Now it's just a matter of whether to get the Sky Piercer or not. But just to point out as well, for Uni, he does not always use assassin junglers.
I would say actually he uses a lot in his tier 2 days.
Right.
Yeah. So I feel like he's okay with it. It's just that he didn't have the opportunity to use it, you know?
Yeah, and now with the new patch, I guess it justifies him to try to use this a little bit more.
Well, this Bigatron Alpha ban out now because the Edith can go to the Roam, can go to the EXP, maybe ban out something like a Brody, because the Brody can handle well against Roger and the Fanny. But they ban out the Moskov. They still respect the Moskov.
although from what we see earlier on, Moskov didn't stand a chance against Roger in the lane. And I do understand why as well, because the reason why you pick a fighter gold lane is so that it's kind of like a counter to most marksmen. So for them to still ban out the Moskov, okay, that is definitely a respect ban.
The question is, Ruff doesn't have to use a marksman in the goal lane now, especially showing the Fanny. It kind of incentivizes him to use either a mage or a fighter. The question is which fighter, because Ruby has been banned out. Ruby has been the premium fighter gold lane for quite a while here. So it's going to be a pretty good question on what he has to use now. The Yuzong gets banned out. Very good ban, seeing that the Angela could get caught before the hard guard goes through.
Yeah, and you want to ban out something that could potentially chase the Ling as well. So it's a pretty decent ban, I must say. But now we come back to the pick.
They need something tanky, either from the Roam or the EXP lane here. Someone that can open up the map. Unfortunately, Grok has been banned out. Grok would have been a great pick here.
Yeah, the Terizla as well would have been a decent pick for them, I must say. Something to open up the fights with the penalty zone, but they choose to ban it out themselves. So I guess they had it in mind.
Maybe a Minotaur, because you still have the heal, you have a way to engage into the fight, and you can kind of slow down this thing a bit with your knockups. Yeah, Minotaur gets picked up here. So heal over heal. Now for MV. The biggest question is really the gold lane here. The gold lane is the one that I'm unsure of. You can still pick up the what was the hero that's used just now? The Tamus. The Tamus still pretty good, very tanky, a lot of damage. Maybe even a Bane, as crazy as it sounds.
But some of the heroes that he has used before are like Carry and also Claude. Other than the Valentina that has been taken away. So going in for Carry is not too bad as well, because you will want like a good tank shredder.
I feel like you need a fighter here. Because I don't know, like Claude has very low HP, and yeah, they pick up the Chi gold lane, I'm assuming, and the Tamus. Yeah, so it's a double fighter gold lane, double fighter composition for MV. Xeno is probably still going for the Tamus and an X-Borg. The X-Borg is unsure for me, because the X-Borg is good against the tankier lineup for MV. It's just that the Ling is going to take care of his Firaga armor very, very fast.
Yeah, for the record as well, for Bigatron Alpha, they are still showing their level of hero pool. The versatility that they're showing, they're picking almost every single round different heroes ever since the start of the SPS.
But now Aman might have a harder time. If he's using the Warcry, he might actually win out against the CC, but I'm unsure. Usually the fighters will have a better time there. And I think it's good because you have a scaling jungler. You have side lanes that don't need to scale that much. MV has a pretty scary lineup here.
Ooh, okay. So are you putting down to you're liking the draft of MV more?
It's easier to pull off.
Right.
It's easier to pull off.
Just frontal, go in and fight.
Not really, because you have multiple layers to it, because the Ling doesn't have to fight. He can just let all the other members do the fighting and he can just split push. So you have layers with what MV has in their kit. Same can be said for Bigatron Alpha, that Super Ken is using the Fanny, especially if the Fanny does go for the Sky Piercer. If you're trying to protect your side lane or you're trying to push the side lanes, Super Ken can just come in and kill you before you even know what's going on. Yeah. That one.
Yeah, so I guess when it comes to composition-wise, both sides have pretty similar composition. You have someone that can protect the front line, and you have someone that can go all the way to the back line and also do a split push if needed.
This is interesting because the Ling is using the Warcry, so the burst damage from the Ling before the fight even starts can stack up that Warcry, and then for 6 seconds it's going to deal a lot of damage.
Oh, nice flicker there by Moreno. Get away from Bakes. A-okay for now. Bakes is pretty low, so he will be able to continue to tank further damage.
Oh, wait. I didn't even see it. Yeah, Edith is mid. And Ruff is actually having a hard time against Amon. Amon is winning this out. Amon gets first blood.
Just like that.
What did he do? How did he trade that much HP?
Probably took a shot underneath the turret.
Yeah, Fakes has to be careful here. He has to recall. Bigatron Alpha, this time having a better early game. Super Ken now hitting level 4. The Silence have to be careful.
Looking at the bottom lane, so looks like Iman does have the level advantage, one level above. But I guess whatever that we learned from round number 1 is that what happens to the first turtle. So we will get to see the level of control that a certain team would have if they can win the first turtle.
And Key completed his boots. Looking at the items, no one has completed a full item just yet. Key wants to get that level 4, same as Nova. But Key with, I don't know. So far I feel like Bigatron Alpha have a better, no, I think Monster Vicious have a better comp at securing the turtle, but because Bigatron Alpha, their EXP won out this lane against Xeno, looks like Bigatron Alpha has the better standing to secure this turtle.
And Key is already at level 4, so the Minoan Fury is online. This is where they need to be super duper careful, knowing that he has the Minoan Fury. They cannot group up together now. So maybe that's why they're going to take the time, allow the junglers to get the purple buff, and then they'll see how they're going to do it.
Well, the turtle is going to get started. Moreno already pulling aggro, but the aggro goes over to Monster Vicious. Looks like Super Cat is still farming. He probably just wants to steal.
Oh no, Xeno. Okay, goes straight onto the back line. Takes a lot of damage all alone. Only focus on the Xeno. The tunnel is still open! The tunnel is open! Allowing Moreno to get the double kill and also the turtle at the same time, but they're looking for more at this point. Uni with Elastic of Hell saved by Hot Guard.
Yeah, Key was the one that actually secures the turtle for Bigatron Alpha. So if the question is the early game here, Bigatron Alpha is definitely the one winning it out, and Ruff goes back in. Amon almost finishing him off. Yeah, dude. Roger, bet it out. Roger is good for anyone.
Oh, Ruff is literally having a rough time right now at the bottom lane. But backup's on his way though. But Uni to go in with Key there, with still the Minoan Fury, maybe not yet.
The Minoan Fury is still in cooldown, so I feel like he doesn't have to go just because the gold lane gives you that damage reduction. So even Bigatron Alpha will be hesitant to really push that. As long as the gold plating is still there, they're going to be safe because the damage reduction does a lot of work for anyone underneath it.
It's not going to be worthwhile yet for them to go all in. Instead, they need to focus on the farm because right now they're about 2,000 gold difference away from Bigatron Alpha, and they also need to prep themselves up for the next turtle.
Right now, Amon is securing all of the scavenger trap, getting a lot of gold out of it. So definitely the highest gold right now. The closest is Moreno, but even Moreno is quite a ways away from it, around 600 gold difference.
Oh, but look at Fakes at the mid lane. Key is just waiting for the right moment. Trying to jump on the base, and there you go. Went in, but Super Ken at the bottom lane, putting pressure onto Ruff as well as Nova. But then again, they're not going to go all in just yet. Super Ken continues to put pressure, flickers away the safety. The White Skova A-OK for now.
Yeah.
Oh,
Xeno.
Oh, Xeno taking a lot of damage. Last we saw it, the hard gun onto Xeno. Buy Xeno some time, but then again, for how long? Xeno's been low at this point. Uni gets killed to Moreno. Xeno gets taken out. A little bit of a trade between the two. Looking for more. Key as well as Zorizo. Bottom pretty low. But then again, Key easily heals up. Not going to be a problem.
Oh, the bottom lane. I'm just looking at, again, Ruff is not having a good time going up against Amon. Amon is pretty angry about what happened in game number 1 and is really bringing out his vengeance in game number 2. Bigatron Alpha, they're starting this turtle. They won the first one. Can Monster Vicious win this second one? Looking at the items, before that, Zorizo, no more Firaga armor.
Here we go. Moreno comes in at the right timing. Base got to be super duper careful. Super Ken comes in as well and tries to go onto the back line, but he's not going to take that risk just yet. Moreno taking lots of damage. Oh, everyone all in on the Moreno right now. Moreno could be the next one to fall. No, Moreno still survives. Look at the chase onto the back line. And Moreno! What a beautiful U-turn. And now they go in. And there you go. So Rizzo will get another one for himself with the last insanity. Bigatron Alpha. What a turtle dance that was.
Imagine if they had Sky Piercer. I'm pretty sure Moreno would be taken out. When will people learn?
Still going back to the Sky Piercer.
I mean, I wear my emotions on my sleeve, man. Either way, right now, Zorizo is pressuring the EXP lane. Monster Vicious. Right now, Bigatron Alpha is about 4,000 gold ahead. And looking at the bottom lane, the gold lane here, I feel like Iman can secure this very, very soon. Super Ken goes in.
Here we go. Look at the damage onto Noah's. Come on, you blink and you miss a moment, ladies and gentlemen. And now Ruff is in rough trouble as Iman will secure the kill.
Yeah, it looks like in this game, Bigetron Alpha is winning all the lanes because Fakes on this Edith mid is really not doing all that well, especially considering that your roamer is the Angela. If you don't have a pretty good early game as an Angela, you're not going to be able to really put pressure onto your opponents.
Yeah, instead right now, Bigetron Alpha is the one putting pressure onto them. Look at the damage output right now. Iman is having a good time. And we also have Moreno and Chorizo up there. Man, Bigetron Alpha, they are the driver's seat.
Yeah, definitely. Bigetron Alpha now 5,000 gold hit. Super Ken has no problems securing his own purple buff. So this Lord, I feel like Bigetron Alpha has a lot of ways to start the fight, so they can initiate any kind of fight first and then go for the Lord, and then that could be end game setup for Bigetron Alpha.
Here we go. Chorizo goes in straight onto the back line. They want to go in for the purple buff steal for the hands of Monster Vicious. And that's the thing about having assassin junglers. If your purple buff gets stolen away, it's going to be pretty tough. And look at the damage taken by Chorizo. It's not phased at all.
Yeah, he keeps on healing the damage that he is taking. He has a War Axe, so a lot of scaling heal for him. Moreno goes in and looks like Uni still secures the purple buff. Now he has the Berserker Fury, so more damage. He only has the Sky Piercer.
Listen to LaFell, ladies and gentlemen. But then again, with the fact that he used the Retribution, this is definitely going to be a free lot for Bigetron Alpha. But look at the bottom lane. Not going to be an issue. It's just them, Super Ken, buying time as he secured the Lord.
Yeah, but Super Ken has 3 items at this point. He has the Blade of Heptases, the Sky Piercer, as well as the Malefic Roar. So even the tankier heroes for Monster Vicious, they have to be careful because there's a lot of penetration on the Fanny. So I feel like Bigetron Alpha, they have a lot of ways to have a big burst of damage. He just needs one really good setup, and it's going to be all over for Monster Vicious.
Here we go. On to Key, not the target anyone, but here we go! All the way to the back line. Underneath the turret, not going to be an issue. Uni takes one out of Key. Now Chorizo will be the next target. Last Insanity will be used to shoot him back in. Super Ken is waiting behind for the right moment to fly in. Steel cables from the side. Look at Super Ken on the right side of the screen, ladies and gentlemen. He could potentially come up with a surprise, and Monster Vicious, they're aware of it. So they get back into the base.
The Lord is pushing down bot. No one is defending the bot turret. The mid is being taken by Bigetron Alpha, and the top lane is going to get dealt with just by minions. Bigetron Alpha, they're zoning away Monster Vicious. There's not much that they can do because they don't have a lot of clear spirit here. So the minions coming in, only Uni can clear it up fast.
Last Insanity on the rough, forcing him to go back. But it looks like Iman will get a kill on the pick. And here we go, Super Ken has a run. Uni will be taken out by Super Ken. That is his arrival, ladies and gentlemen, introducing himself to Monster Vicious.
Yep, Super Ken again, as I said before we start the match, he is an assassin user. Looks like game number 1, they were trying it out. It's like, maybe tank jungle still works. And then Super Ken's just like, yeah, just give me an assassin.
Yep, and all the way to the back, Iman gets a double kill, and this is where Bigetron Alpha will close off the game, bringing us to game number 3.
Yeah, Bigetron Alpha understands what happened in game number 1. Not enough damage. So what to do for game number 2? Overload on the damage. Congratulations to Bigetron Alpha.